Hello, 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 and welcome to the Atelier Nikazuki live stream. Just going to make sure everything is plugged in because apparently my laptop, whoa, don't go anywhere. Anyway, apparently my laptop is a little bit grumpy. That it's on, well, it's charging, which it's been plugged in all day, so it should not be charging. Which means that the connection must have been loose at some point today. Okay, but it's plugged in right now, so we're good. Anyway, excuse me. We are now on to the interfacing for the Kato bags for the Peace Fibre Festival. What we're going to do is, well, okay. I basically called it on how much we were going to finish up. We are at the end of actually prepping bags, well, prepping exteriors, so now we're working on the interfacing, and if we're lucky tonight, we will also get to go in and do the, or at least start the adhering. Looking at this pile of exteriors, this is not going to be that bad, to be honest. Alright. So, what we're going to do, what I find works the best still, is lay everything out and then just cut around the pieces themselves. This is what takes the time, is the laying out and the, again, all that prep work, right? So, if you're listening to me earlier, I was discussing how I'm like, lost some motivation in my running. I did not get a chance to talk to Dallas about Kyoto tonight because the kids were, well, I did go for my run because I didn't know if I would get it done or not, but yeah, the kids actually cooperated, so that was good. But that also meant that they were up later than normal, and then Dallas was also later than normal, and it was just a storm, a poop storm. So, whatever, it's fine. Well, I said we should try and have a kid-free chat on Monday or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's amazing how they kind of have like a sixth sense about, oh, mom and dad are trying to talk. Let's be the loudest we can be and like everything. It's really cute though because they miss their dad. I just realized that that interfacing cut right here may or may not work for, no, it's too small. Okay, it's like, it might work for the like handles, the new handles for the box bags and like wristlets, but it's a tick too small. It will work for wristlets because we can always piece it together. I try not to do that too much on like the bags, but a little bit on like accessories I find is okay. Just because I don't want it to like overlap too much, basically, and create like crunchy bits, essentially. No crunchy bits. Alright, so there's 2 done already. We have 53 to do. So I have a feeling that even with the messing around, that took like about 4 minutes. Including the setup and getting onto YouTube and everything like that. So I have a feeling we're going to be able to get all of these done fairly rapidly, like within an hour. And this is famous last words, but I do feel like I will be able to go a little bit later tonight, and we don't have to be up and out anywhere tomorrow. So that is actually the reason I think I'll be able to stay up a little bit later tonight. Anyway, I did train, so I did the heart rate training today. I know is what I should be doing. I've been doing like all last year, but realistically last year I was just building endurance, which is not that different, but apparently the zone 2 heart rate training is where you like recover a lot faster. So I'll try that. Start counting my calories. Good thing was I didn't finish all the rice I had planned for dinner, so I had that for the, and like I had entered, so I ate that instead for a snack, which was perfect. I just realized, I'm like, how wide is this actually? I wonder if it would be better. Meow? Hey, Flim Flon, what's up? No, because I can't even get 3 of them at the width, so no. Going height-wise is better. Hey, buddy, what's up? Yeah, you're here. I see you. Mm-hmm. You're just being a chatty boy tonight. Yeah, I love you too. What are you licking your chops about? Find something tasty? Hopefully not anything that you weren't supposed to get into. Interesting, now this one I do have what I need to actually like use it for the wristlets. So I don't know what's up. Although I guess the wristlets are probably also longer than what this width is, so I don't know, folks. Okay. Yeah, don't cut the acrylic ruler. Cutting the acrylic ruler is very bad for the acrylic ruler. Don't do it. Hi, buddy. What's up? Also, Noma Taylor just posted some fabric that's killing both Caroline and I. We're like, yeah, so it's more of the narrative fabric with the little, those like clutter of cats. Hi, buddy. You are right in the way again, aren't you? Oh, you're so soft right now. What have you done? How have you changed your grooming procedures? Hey, your cheeks healing up? Yeah. What shifted? You just need to get rid of the winter coat. You still have some mats, but you're doing pretty good. Oh, I guess I could actually turn the computer so that you can like see my face cam a little bit better. And the fluffy boy. Oh yes, we know. You're like, oh my god, I'm staticky. Stop. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, the exciting part of this heart zone, the heart rate training, at least for these easy runs, is that what I did today as an easy run was a struggle last year. So what I've been doing for training has been working anyway. But it's just kind of nice to see that very obvious result as well. I need to keep up I need to enact the journaling part for my exercise. And it's like, because I take pictures of the treadmill and the averages that I get. But I think I need to keep a journal just to be like, okay, you are making progress. Because sometimes it can be really hard to see. Unless you're doing races and stuff like that. And that might be part of why I'm just feeling demotivated about everything. I did consider going out for the run outside. It was absolutely miserable when I got outside. So I was like, nope. So I ran on the treadmill. And watched, caught up on some of my video podcasts. I still watch the Knit Girls with 3 L's with Laura and Leslie. And then I also still watch The Fat Squirrel Speaks with Amy Beth. But I haven't watched anything else recently. So you, sir, we're going to take the matte brush to these ones, and then I'm going to move you off the table so I can actually get some cutting done, because I am late coming on as it is. Just realized there's room for that stuff there, and then we can put you on the chair. There you go. A little bit like, why would you do this to me? I am a prince among cats. I am offended. That tail. I even tidied up a few of the like little scrappy scraps that were on the floor because I was like, I want to stop stepping on these. So they're in the bag where they're supposed to be. It was like the stuff that kind of missed and was spread out around the bag. So. So this was the other big reason that I wanted to move the cutting table into here and have it not against a wall, was the fact that I'm able to just pull interfacing off of the bolt. Basically, I have curtain rod hangers underneath, because again, cat problems, but finding solutions for like the in-between. I am large enough that I need to buy in bulk, but not so large that I have warehouse space businesses, is really difficult. And like, I know it's different for every business because obviously we all work at different levels, and that's why there is not a lot of resources about it. But I'm like, man, there should be more of us. Maybe I should start that, but that sounds like a lot of energy. Again, in my infinite time, maybe that's what, apparently Pinterest is doing really well for business. So now I'm like, maybe I should, that's what I could do for like blog posts on the website to drive traffic to there. Tips and tricks on how to organize your medium-sized business. It's not even medium-sized, I'm still small. I don't even know what this would be called anymore. Madness for sure. Although it's not the only thing I would that puts a check mark under that column. Alright, it is stressing me out a little bit that I did not go through and prep all those other bags. And at the same time, I'm very proud of myself because there is no way we would get all those bags done before Peace Fibre Festival. So I'm like half like, yay, you, go you, set a boundary. And half like, I need to finish them all. Oh well, it's a good thing that I have the large box bags ready to go. The only thing that I didn't do is I did not pull this off the bolt the correct direction originally. So I'm doing it so that the fusible side is facing up, which makes sense to me because then you can like, I can just plop the fabric down and it can just go under the steam press. But the roll, the way I pulled it off the roll is non-glue side up first. Flynn, why are you in that box of all places? Oh, he thinks the screw on the wall is a bug, or the nail in the wall is a bug, I think. Okay, one moment, let me go extract this fluffy menace. Oh, maybe he extracted himself. Yeah, he did, okay. I swear, it's not the kids, it's the cats. Sometimes it's both, but most of the time, they thankfully, most of the time, alternate. The majority of the time. He's still past though. Okay. Hedgies. I'm glad the hedgies made the pile of random that we're finishing. Because they're so cute. It's such a good color too. That. That's not a good sign. That could be a good sign. I don't know. Flynn, get off the dressers, dude. Okay. BRB. I don't know what's up. He is being extremely sucky. But hey, at least I moved the stuff out from behind the door so we can get back in and out. A little bit easier. Alright. You go here. Stay there, please. He's up on top of the like stock dressers, getting into stuff that he like boxes and things. And it was either he was going to like knock something off and it was going to take him with it, or he was going to knock something off and break it, or both. More likely both. It's never not an adventure here. Apparently, he did actually have the one brain cell that orange male cats share, and now it's gone again. I guess it's coming up to the full moon, so it is our turn for the full moon without the brain cell. And yes, I just realized that all the careful manipulation of trying to keep the fabrics together has just been blown out the window because now we're doing the interfacing. Although, actually, it doesn't matter so much now because all the drawstrings channels are connected to the bags that they're all the other pieces that they're intended to go with. And so if they're out of sequence, it's like manageable out of sequence. I did move all the pieces out into the sewing studio already because I was like, there's no point in taking up room on the sewing desk when they're already all pieced together basically. And I can use that space to like set up the stream and have room for like the stuff that I'm actively working on instead of the stuff that will be active later this weekend sort of thing. I know what needs to be added in here is a cat tree for you, doesn't it? Actually, maybe I should move the one that's in our bedroom down here, and then I wouldn't have to worry about the children climbing on it, because they're not allowed in the cutting studio right now. Our youngest, the cat tree is like 7 feet tall, and I came upstairs. Our eldest came downstairs because they'd gone up for water bottles or socks or I don't know, something that they needed, and then it was lunchtime. The eldest came down and tattled on the youngest that they were on the cat tree. I did not believe that. Went upstairs, and my youngest was like on the top of this like 7-foot cat tree. I'm just like, child. Doesn't come out very often, but the mom voice was in full effect at that time because I was just like, that no. Took them off of the cat tree, like bodily removed them from the room, and then had a very stern talking to because I'm just like, that is not what we do. I think it mostly involved, are you a cat? And they're like, yes, I'm a cat. And I'm like, no, you're not a cat. I guess as the conversation for that involves, it can also be like you're pretending to be a cat, but you are a person. And people don't climb cat trees. I know that's too much. It's just like too much verbal, especially in the moment, but don't climb cat trees. It's not good for anyone's health, including the cats. Sorry, buddy. I am going to move the chair a little bit so I'm not constantly brushing you and disturbing your, like, rest. So let's pop you there. So, yeah, so you're still involved. Don't worry, I'm not taking you out of the room. Dude, bro, back on your chair. No, that is not for jumping. So I did move the litter box upstairs because we were planning to like move them around upstairs and everything like that. But I do not think that experiment is going to work. Mostly because I want to reclaim the washroom down here. But, oh well. It's just like, there is no good place for the litter boxes in this house. The old house we had like under the stairs storage. And like right under the stairs we put the litter boxes, and that was like the best place for them. Here it's like the best option is the basement washroom. But yeah, there's like, so basically it's tucked, there's a little nook right beside our garage door, and it's like one box is tucked in there, but it's just, it doesn't work. I think even if we built a like enclosure for it, there's not enough room. So, although Dallas was saying that he wanted to build some like shelves in that space, like over top of the litter box, but I think I still want him to build I'll get him to still try and build the shelves above or in that space. So I think it makes sense for like some of the bulkier items, so it's not taking up as much room in the pantry, and like paper towel and toilet paper, because that is the big issue with purchasing from Costco, is there's just so much of it to store. It's a useless little nook otherwise, and so I think still get him to build shelves in there, but bring the litter box back downstairs. Go. Yes, that is a generous cut. Yes, I'm going to be cutting it down a bit, especially on the fans. Okay, yeah, it seems like he mostly just wanted to be involved. He's very content being a fluffy slug on that chair now. Scoot, 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 scoot. There we go. No, I'm not likely to keep that small of a piece of fusible interfacing. I'm just moving it out of the way so that I'm not cutting over it constantly. That doesn't mean that it's a complete impossibility that I won't keep it, but it's highly unlikely. I'll keep these like end cuts that are larger because they are useful still, quite useful. And smaller pieces of fusible interfacing can actually be useful because you can like butt them up together and then fuse them, which is awesome. But there's a limit for everything. Well, and you might also wonder why I'm not just cutting, like, leaving these as a big piece and then cutting them after I'm interfacing them. And right now I am not 100% sure. I do know that it's easier to interface these as two pieces, because if I interface them as one piece and like fold them, the interfacing buckles in the middle basically, and it does not fuse correctly. But I'm kind of looking at it right now, like, why am I not like cutting the interfacing and then cutting everything, because that would actually save me a cut on every single one of these. Now, that may not sound like a lot, but when you're prepping 100 bags, that is 100 cuts, which is a significant number. Some I can implement that with the next round, like the next half of bags, and we can try it and see if it's worth it or not, because the other section of this is like, if it's not adhered, this interfacing shifts and shuffles and is slithers everywhere basically, because it's also it's technically medium weight, but it acts like a lightweight. I don't get it. Oh shoot, this is the first round of the Kato with the new interfacing, so this better work. I don't see why it shouldn't, but like weirder things have happened. Weirder things have happened in the studio in like the last few weeks, especially with the shift to this new interfacing. The one thing though is actually moving the handles down to the whatever inch cut it is now. I reduced it by an inch. That has improved the hangability of them like tenfold. They're not just spontaneously jumping off the racks anymore, so people aren't getting embarrassed or like or anything like that to like actually touch the bags and then have like a whole hook of them fall off on them. Heck, people didn't even have to like touch them. They just kind of had to look at them and they would jump off the hook at them. So, but anyway, so reducing the width of the height, I don't know, depends on which way you're looking at, but yeah, reducing like the height of the handle worked out exactly how I hoped it would, because I totally raw dogged that and did not test it on the grid wall hooks or anything before going to the next show. So it's just like, let's just adjust this down by an inch and hope, and like what is it, prayers and thoughts. It's all that could help us at that point. Alright, I have not been keeping track of where we are. I recognize the stuff that we're cutting. Obviously, I know that we worked with it today. But who knows where we are in the process. I'm just here. We're just gonna chug along. I am feeling like we'll probably get it all cut and I'll be able to adhere everything, which will be awesome. I did say it'd take about probably an hour based on what I was seeing earlier. So if that's a good indicator, then we should be about halfway. Give or take a little bit because of cat shenanigans. So, because apparently there needed to be cat shenanigans tonight. Oh, this one as a bee. The bee and strawberry Kato is going to look amazing. I'm excited for it. We are coming up on the last of that bee and strawberry fabric, so if you have seen any of the shapes in it that you like have to have, please let me know. I think there is, I think I tracked down enough for a small box bag. 1 or 2 small box bags. And we might have done a big bag cut. I can't remember actually. I'm not even going to look at the big bags until we're done small box bags. Well, I might have to, but those will be the next 2 after the Kato for sure. Oh yeah, I should actually cut the Kimono's interfacing while I'm doing this anyway as well, just so it's done, since it won't take long to cut Obviously 2 bags worth of interfacing. Okay, it definitely looks like I'm at the point where I gave up counting in tens, which is hilarious because that didn't actually last that long. These strawberries are gonna be amazing. I think they need to become purses. Can you imagine a strawberry bag? Question. Oh, a strawberry hobo bag would look freaking amazing. If I remember. Sorry, what was I talking about? What do I need to remember? Because who knows? My memory is my short term. Say that like my long term is better than it is. Some things, it depends on what it is. I can hold a grudge. It's not good. I don't want to hold grudges, but okay, looks like it's time to flip the way that I'm actually pulling this up. Let's see here. Yeah, no, I'm just totally have it on the wrong way. So let's go this way actually. If I pull it this direction, then it's not twisted. There we go. Alright, so I do want to put it so that's the other way. I am totally a lost Andrea. I'm sorry. If I remember for cutting the interfacing. Oh, to like, for cutting it in half afterwards? Apparently. See, that's the thing. I can't even remember what I just said. Eek. I have continuity, but I do not have memory skills right now. Continuity is just, again, creative chaos. Oh, that worked out really well. I did not plan that, but the floral spread is kind of like almost right in the middle of where it's going to hit on the bag. Oh, that's going to look so good. Okay. That fabric, it was not anything really special on the bolt, but it is like working up as one of my favorite fabrics from that round of purchasing. Like, it's the same as like, there's definitely some magic in like being able to work up this 2D stuff into like 3D items, and like some of that is just seeing how these fabrics transform. Sometimes sometimes it's really easy to see on the bolt that something is going to be amazing, and it is. But like, sometimes some things are sleeper hits. I really liked this print. Didn't blow me away, like I said, on the bolt, but now that I'm like working it up, it's just like, oh my goodness, it is gorgeous. So this one would have been from Kyoto. It's got like basically this. So I think how I'll sew it is I'll sew it so that that bottom part of like the plume of florals is at the bottom, because it's kind of reflected on both sides. This side obviously has more floral, but like that is just, oh, so good. Hey, it is static electricity to the staticing. To the table. Let me see. Oh, the little heart icon is always in the way on the chat. Yes. Yeah, so it's like I gotta figure out how to actually do that without it buckling in the middle. And then I'm hoping, so what I'm going to do, because I had the wrinkling on the interior fabrics for the box bags the last couple times, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the actual heat down. I think even so, I've been doing it like on a wool setting instead of a cotton or a linen setting the past couple times. But I might even turn it right down to like a polyester setting or something like that. Because technically the interfacing is polyester, I think. Pretty sure it's polyester. Maybe turning it down the extra notch will actually help it. You're supposed... Okay, as a general rule of thumb, this does not have this interfacing because it's a bulk roll. They kind of go, well, you know how to do this. Good luck. No instructions. But most of the instructions I usually see for interfacings are to press to the, well, press to the glue side. So don't press it on this side because it is polyester. Press from the front because that'll also put your fabric in contact with that melting glue. And then the other portion of it is typically you set your iron or press to the top, like the fabric's content. So technically with these I'm supposed to be set to cotton or even cotton linen, which would be linen because you go with the one that's got the higher temperature. But both of these interfacings have refused to follow those general guidelines. Not like I even follow those generalized guidelines all the time, but anyway, I think I might. So what did we do? We did like 5 seconds last time and it seemed to work at the wool setting. So mostly what I want to be able to do, that is the benefit of the steam press, besides like it does do the more uniform pressing, is the fact that it beeps at 10 seconds. Which means that for something like pressing on interfacing, which is already tedious, or can be, I can just kind of turn my brain off a bit. I don't have to think, I just do. Now granted, that's kind of what it's happening right here. I don't really need to think much about this either. I can just place and go, place and cut and go. But it's nice when there's some tasks that don't require a lot of brain effort, because it's nice to be able to rest the brain. Okay, I'm just making sure that it wouldn't have worked to put it like that, and it will not. Zippy zip. All right, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. That's not what. Yeah, whatever. Keep seeing fabrics out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, oh, I know what that should become. And I'm like, no, you've got enough fabric cut right now. Chill out. No more cutting fabric, Katie. Bad. Bad, bad, bad. So the fact that I went, ooh, that needs to become that, does tell me that now I know how to use that fabric when I do come back to it. So, oi, oi, oi. Not that we don't have enough to do. How that ended up that crooked, I do not know. We are going to fix that right now. There is a pair of shears hidden in here somewhere. I saw them when I was like partially tidying up. At least I thought I did. I did. Shears. Mostly because I don't want to roll the fabric back to like fix this. So we'll just shears it. The fabric is technically taller than it needs to be anyway. And that would not fly when putting the lining into the bag. There. So that may not be perfect, but again, it's going to smooth my sewing journey, hopefully. This is all in the name of hopefully smoothing the sewing journey. Who knows? Hi, cat. You're back? Yeah, did you go collect the brain cell? Silence. At least don't climb on the stock drawers again, please. Yeah, I know. You are a very fluffy, happy cat right now, eh? Scritch, scritch, scritch. Hi. Are you going to be the quality control inspector on duty? Yeah, I know. You know, I had a timeline for this, right? And now it's like not going to be that because of you. What can be the what do you need for a sacrifice to keep you off the working fabric at least? Do you want me to lift the bag up here so you can crawl and knit? We can do that. Here. There you go. Go in there. Actually, I'm surprised that's working. It's like, I know what I want and what I like. Here. I'll even make it easy for you. There you go. No? Meow. I know. You're a cat. Don't even think about the bookshelf. Jerk. It's a good thing that the like cutting table is far enough away from there. I don't think you can actually jump up on there. But it's got a bunch of like figurines on top, so you better not jump up on there. It's like my I don't know where half of them went, but my grandma gave me the UNESCO growing up girls as I grew up. I currently have like 11 through 16, but not 15. And I don't know what happened to everything under 11. I know she gave them all to me, but I'm wondering if I like missed packing them when I did one of my last like pack ups for my parents or something like that. Totally possible. I have them on a wish list, so should be something I do in the next little bit is like refinish off the collection. Yeah, that's a good spot for you too, bud. There you go. Okay, so this one is going to turn out way better than I expected. And the fans. Now I'm wishing I'd gotten more of this one, because look at, like, I don't know why it's just so good, but it is so good. Maybe like I could just eat it up, but there's not even any food on it, so that's not, no. The children were very excited that it was Pizza Pop Day. I had actually said that Friday was going to be Pizza Pop Day, and it was like, I asked my eldest what they thought was in the Jeep. And they were like, is it, or for dinner, and they're like, is it Pizza Pop Day? And I was like, yes. Sloths with lemons. I can't tell if they're like tiny sloths or if they're giant lemons. Both. I don't know. But anyway, these sloths are hanging out with lemons. I'm going to say they're giant lemons because in my head that is far funnier than tiny sloths for some reason. Actually, that was one of the really cool things was when we were at the Vancouver Aquarium. They actually have sloths there, which I did not know. And when we were there, they were actually like super active, crawling out of the tree and everything like that. So that was really cool to see. I don't know if I've actually ever seen a sloth at a zoo. Although granted, I have not done a lot of zoos besides Calgary and Disney's Animal Kingdom. So those are not maybe the and that's fine. That's all I need to say about it. I have done some very questionable ones when I've been in Japan that I will not be returning to. Nothing paid, but like random free little ones on the side of parks, and they were very disturbing. I love Japan, but they have some issues. Lots of issues, but we all do as countries. And that, again, is all I will say on that one. But anyway, sloths. Sloths with, what did I say? Giant lemons. It's probably what the title will be on the website if you're looking for it, is like sloths with giant lemons. Because why not? I may as well have fun with it. I can't remember what I named it in the wholesale catalog. I'll have to take a look. It's probably something boring of just like sloths with lemons. But I think it needs to be sloths with giant lemons, because that's what it looks like. Bunnies. Bunnies and sakura. Like, I've just given up on the ruler. I'm like, I am probably, well, I'm not quite as tight as I would be if I had the ruler onto the actual cuts, but it's close enough, whatever. A little bit of extra interfacing is never a bad thing, really, because it does mean then that the, like, fabric is kind of, basically the interfacing helps seal it almost in some ways. So what I was doing is, like, the glue melts into it. So, you have another piece of fabric on the back, without adding bulk, and then you've like adhered it so that the glue is melted in and like glued. So a little bit of like extra around the edges means that it just gets worked around the edges. At least that's the story I'm telling myself. I don't know if it's actually true. It sounds right. I do know that that's how it, well, obviously it adheres to the back because of the glue. So basically, it's melting into the fabric, at least on the back. So I don't know if the rest of it's true. Who knows? I don't really need to figure out all of the interfacing physics to enjoy the product that I make with it. There we go. Ba, 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 ba. Excuse me. Turtles. Turtles are here. Turtles are here. That one's also going to turn out really good. One, two, three, and four. Okay, that was a disturbing pop from my shoulder. Didn't hurt, it just like was a big pow. Flynn's over here like guarding my door now, watching for Dahlia. I will admit that they fight a lot, and he is definitely not innocent in their like scuffles. Okay, so I think that's 10. Oh, there we go. There's 10. And that should be about 10. Yeah. I feel like we've done more than 20, but okay. Who knows? Like I said, I haven't been keeping track. But I do feel like we, again, still are going to get this done tonight, which is awesome. And then I think it is to the point where I probably can also do the adhering of the interfacing to the bags tonight, which would put us like a little bit ahead of where I'd vaguely plotted everything for the weekend. That does not mean that I don't still have work to do tomorrow that's not sewing related. I probably should do something with the kiddos since it is the weekend. I really want to get the I've been collecting like yogurt tubs and sour cream tubs and stuff like that, not knowing what I was going to do with them, but then I realized that we can plant little seedlings in them for now, and they're like the tall ones, but that's fine, and then we can transfer them into pots later. But the weather today reminded me, well, I guess we're like 6 to 8 weeks out probably from the actual last frost date, although I think everyone goes out on May long here, but I think the safe date is actually June 1st. So that is, oh yeah, we're well within the period. Okay, so maybe we could start our seedlings. We need to go get dirt then. I know I talked about this a few weeks ago. Why didn't we do it? Oh, right, because I was going to do it after Shindig, and then between like whatever was going on and a sleep-in that didn't agree with me, there was no way we were planting flowers that day. I think it's supposed to be up to +10 on Sunday though, so that might be the better day to actually do it in, just because then we can do it out on the deck and not in the house. Yeah, that's the best reason to do it, when it's a little bit nicer outside. Because I have a feeling dirt and toddlers isn't going to mix very well. Actually, can you plant? I always compost our egg cardboard But can you plant seeds in those and then plant those in pots? Because that would be a lot better contain. I can totally Google that. But if someone knew off the top of their head, that would be amazing. But that would be maybe a better way to contain it. Although it wouldn't allow them to do a very good root system necessarily, I guess. Not like we're doing anything, I say this like we're doing like super fancy stuff, but we're going to plant some cosmos, some sunflowers. The sunflowers will be ground, not pots. The cosmos are going to go in pots. I wonder if I should just like free seed the sunflowers. I wonder if I could just actually throw the sunflowers out right now and they would seed themselves. Guerrilla gardening. But anyway, the cosmos, I've done cosmos before and I really liked them. They were first saw them when I was in Japan and loved them, so that's what we're gonna do. And then I can't remember if I have sweet peas or not, but if I don't, we'll go get some sweet peas because those are like some of my favorite garden flowers that are like easy to take care of. My absolute favorite garden flowers are peonies, but they are so persnickety. So I'm just like, and there's not really any space for them in this yard, or I don't want to take the space for them, really. I do know we're going to get some raspberries from Dallas's parents. Plant them against our deck. So that'll be good. And raspberries should just plant and be fine, but we should do that this summer. Anyway, plant cosmos with the children this weekend. Figure out sweet pea situation. I actually saw a really cool thing that someone did like a sweet pea tent. Basically built, well, it essentially looked like a teepee. But then and that was kind of the construction idea. Although I don't know how many other ways you would build a little arch triangle for sweet peas. But they like grew the sweet peas all over this like tent arch, and it looks really sweet. So that might actually, we've got a good spot for that. It's not like that isn't something that we could reclaim the ground from later if we wanted to. Kids do have a little plastic play structure I need to move tomorrow too, so that it doesn't like completely kill the grass that it's sitting on. Probably already has, but it still has a chance to rejuvenate right now. Especially if we continue to get a little bit of drizzly snow and stuff like that. Now, can I guarantee that these florals will last the summer? No, I've been terrible at keeping plants alive recently. The only plant that actually survived our move to this house was our, my Christmas cactus of all things. It's currently sitting behind our kitchen sink, living its best life, besides being chewed by the cats. But, I killed the spider plant because it didn't get watered enough because I was keeping it away from the cats as well. And the snake plant, which was huge. I'm just like, maybe I'll do better this year. I don't know. At least cosmos and like sweet pea seeds are not expensive. The dirt's a little bit more expensive, but we're just doing small containers. It's all good. What I would really love to do, I should do a little bit more research about the sweet peas, because I just realized what would be really cool to do. We've got the like a banister railing. It'd be really cool to like grow sweet peas up and like over the banister. because metal, so it's not like it would grow into the banister and damage it like ivy either. Now the question would be, would a container, so like a pot, be large enough to support a sweet pea that could do that sort of thing? And I think so. I don't think their like root systems are very deep. And not necessarily the whole deck, or at least not the whole deck this year. But like maybe one of the corners would be a lot of fun. Be pretty. And then do like, what I really want to do is kind of like a very, I don't want to call it organic because that's not what I'm going for, but like very, not matched garden. So like a bunch of different pots and planters and all of that, and like do a whole line of planters along the deck, because snapdragons also do really well in this area, and so it'd be really cool. What I paired up previously is I paired up snapdragons, cosmos, and petunias, and that was a really nice combo that did really well in a container as well. So I'd love to do, I think I want to do that again. That's why I want to start the cosmos. Although I just direct sowed the cosmos that time, so maybe we won't start the cosmos tomorrow or this weekend. Maybe we'll just direct sow when it's warm enough. And then I think the sweet peas have to be started around this time though. Whatever, I'll go do some research after this. That'll be my late night scrolling. Terrible. I do know that I saw a reel, I hope I saved it, about growing ranunculus in Calgary, which are those really tight, they look like a combo between almost a rose and a peony. But they're cold start, and so someone actually asked specifically about Calgary if you'd be able to, when you would start them here. Now Cochrane can have different zones as well, so I don't know, but I would just use it as a rule of thumb. But anyway, apparently they, like, you can start them when it's warm out, but they prefer cold start, I guess, which is wild. So, I'm not on the ball enough to do those this year, but maybe that's something I'll write down and I'll try for next year too. I thought Flynn had settled down in one of the empty shelves on the bottom of the calyx, but no, he's outside staring at Dahlia, just waiting to get in trouble. There we go. I think I've said this before, and it is, if we'd been able to lift up our old house and put it on a new lot, that would have been perfect. And actually I was just realizing that this is not actually, this is something else about the lot that I don't miss. But we had a swale running through the backyard, and I just saw photos of me having to clean out this swale a few years ago. And I was just like, right, we haven't had to do that, and it is amazing. This place has different maintenance, but I had forgotten about the swale. So basically it's that like concrete kind of trough in the backyard, so that the idea is that water will flow through it so that your yard doesn't like flood, and it runs out to the storm drain basically. In reality, it meant that it gathered a crap ton of leaves and dirt, and then weeds grew in it, so you had to clean it out every year. We eventually actually put like flag or patio stones over top of it, which I think helped, but we moved the spring after Dallas put the patio stones over it, so I don't know. It's the new owner's problem now. And 3 and 4 and yes, that's corgi butts with bread. It's mostly corgi butts with some like Where's Waldo style bread loaf cuts. There we go. Alright, so we're down to 10 or just under 10. We're almost there. Looks like all the Shibas got... Oh, right, they would have gotten in because they're going to have paw print pockets. Go. More corgis, but in a like mint aqua. This is like very vibrant, to be honest. Like shockingly vibrant. Not neon, but shockingly vibrant. Ooh, I was at Michael's the other day and looking at their bead selection, as one does. And they just got in a bunch of new seed beads. And some of them were like, so they're clear, but then they're actually like, the hole is lined in like neon, and they looked so cool. I was like, they are too small for anything that I do, and I'm just like, I just had to share the glory of them. They were freaking gorgeous. And they had bottles of like mixed one, and then they had bottles of the individual colors that were like in the mixed tube, which is a very good idea. It was like pink and orange and purple and green and yellow and just like all highlighter colors. So pretty. We're getting there. We're getting there. Strawberry black cats are very cute. Actually, I've got this on a navy as well, and that's going to look really good once I cut into it. I'm like looking for it like I'm going to do that now. Don't do it now. See the aqua, I don't know where the navy is. Alright. Gonna have to find it. Oh yeah, I used the navy actually last year for grime cards. Oh, did someone order? Maybe I did it up as a wholesale, and no, I don't think anyone ordered that for wholesale. No, I can't remember. Oh well. Oh yeah, okay, so what do I need to look up? I need to look up if sweet peas can be container plants. Actually, I should also look up some of the various pollinators for this area that would be good as well. I think sweet peas are good for pollinators, but it would be good to also put things in that they would find naturally here, even if it's just like 1 or 2 pots. And then, are sweet peas good container plants? Or like, I really want to do morning glories, but the problem with morning glories is that they're poisonous to cats. So I'm like, well, that's not good. And I think they're actually poisonous to children as well. Are they? I say that and I can't remember. Anyway, not something I need to introduce into the roundup right now. Although morning glories are like I just love the vibrant colors that they get. Okay, and then the other thing I just realized that I need to do is I need to scroll through the H&H vendors, because Caroline will go and look at the H&H vendors for me, because and I was discussing this earlier, but one of the things is that I thought H&H was like kind of just a replacement for TNA, not thinking about the fact that like in Germany where it started, it's like everything. And so that means that like TNA didn't really include like fabrics and stuff like that. It was all needlework associated, or generally. So it was all those products, and I'm just like, I didn't even think about the fact that there would be wholesalers and distributors at H&H for fabric. And now that I'm on the hunt for a waxed canvas supplier, I will send her on the hunt for me, which I think she'll probably enjoy. We're just about there. We're just about there. Almost done cutting the interfacing. That did not take as long as I expected, considering how long it took us to actually prep the bags. Hey, you got 2 more sets of cuts. And then I'm going to pull up the steam press and we will do the steam press. And we are going to put the steam press on the polyester setting. And we're going to see if that changes anything, to see if there's wrinkling. That's what you were talking about, isn't it, Andrea? My God. We'll get back there eventually, right? Poor brain. These are very household Japanese walls. Here, come on, get unstuck. I'll show you on the other one. So like these walls surrounded a lot of the residential like houses in Kyoto and everything like that. You don't normally see buckets out on the street like that, but definitely like the grasses and the water. I think there's actually a story about why the cat is like all arch-backed with the water bottles there. I can't remember off the top of my head, but if I find it, I will add it to the list of things. Alright, last 2 sets of cuts. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Honestly, if we can get these interfaced and adhered tonight, that actually does put us ahead and on track a little bit better. So let's hope that this works. Okay. And that one of the kids doesn't wake up in the next like 15 minutes or hour. It's probably going to take about an hour and a half to 2 hours to adhere all of these. So, last set of cuts. Yeah, so if it's an hour and... Oh, okay. Never mind. It's 11:30. Like, I can stay up later tonight, but I cannot be up insanely later. Having said that, I am still going to start pressing these because but I probably will only work until midnight, maybe 12:30 at a stretch. So another half hour to an hour, maybe. All right, here we go. Last cut, last cut, last cut. For now. I am glad I called it, because this actually feels achievable now, especially with how much prep work we've done to actually get it just to sewing. So the last thing that does have to happen for prep work that I haven't done, blah, 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 last 2 things that are not sewing related is we have to prep the leather. And also brand the brand the logos, but branding the logos at the end does make sense because then I don't overdo the number of logos, because it is not an insignificant amount of time to first brand the logos and then also not just brand the logos, but like cut them out is actually the bigger deal. I'm grabbing the steam press. We're ready to go for putting interfacing in. Give me 1 second. Okay, so the grimacing is the fact that I probably need to clean my sole plate. It is like covered in interfacing gunk right now. But no. That'll be a later thing. That is a future Katie problem. Okay, so I have nylon, silk, wool, cotton, and linen. We already know we don't want to press on the cotton. The wool, so let's back it off to silk. Oh shoot, I was supposed to cut those. Speaking of silk, I was supposed to cut the Kato interfacings. So the Kato interfacings should be right here, I think. Oh, you better not have fallen off. Oh, right, because yeah, this piece has to be in, yeah. So this is why I want to interface, because they start to unravel. So a good reminder to myself that I should actually interface them before I really even cut it. Okay, and then I am going to want to grab some sacrificial fabric and do this as a pressing cloth. What do I have for fabric over there? Something and something. I'll figure it out in a second here. Okay, so this piece is the one that really needs it. Now, part of what we need to do was also get these edges unfolded because they're going to be part of the seam allowance. So get that unfolded here. And of course, it's going to stick because of all the embroidery on the back. The big thing is just getting it like mostly placed out. It doesn't need to be perfect. Again, having a little bit of extra interfacing around it, it's not going to be a big deal. I'm gonna have to stand up for this again. Let's plunk this here. Actually, I think we're going to be able to cut both of these. Ah, sweet, yeah. We can totally cut both of these bags from the same strip. I am going to leave a little bit extra on the edges because, hi, why not? Right, the rotary cutter works way better on the interfacing than the shears do. I don't know why. The shears do not like it. Okay. I'm gonna even it up on this side. There we go, and then we're gonna even it up right there. So there is that one. And again, I need to press the seam allowance on the edges out, and then this is good this way. Okay. I'm going to grab a pressing cloth because I do not want to damage the embroidery colors. That's the main thing. Not even for the fact that bringing a pressing cloth in will mean that it doesn't stick to the thing. Okay, what do I have for fabric that I can use? That is like, I won't feel guilty about sacrificing. That looks like a good piece right there. There we go. Okay. All right, and then the other benefit to the pressing fabric is that I can unfold the edges on this, and then the weight of the pressing fabric usually, or the pressing cloth, whatever you're using, is like able to hold it down. Now, the other question is do I need to actually press this out? Actually, I do, because I just remembered sewing the like 4 layers of OB is not fun. Do I need to be spending the time to finesse this right now? Not really. But, actually, and yeah, do you know what? They need to be touched up with an iron. So okay, whatever. I cut the interfacing. I'm sure I'm going to be heating up the iron in the next couple days. But there is the interfacing for them. Yeah, because that one has a big... If I put that under the steam press right now, it would be like permanently buckled right there, so no. There, better professional decision. Just cool my jets. Okay, but let's go in and try pressing these here. They should be warmed up enough. It does have steam, even though it's on the silk setting, which is very interesting. Steam or silk and water do not mix typically. Okay. Now the hope is that I can just do the brain turn off and we can wait the 10 seconds. It'll beep at us. And we won't have any buckling. And it'll be adhered. So let's take this off. Nope. Of course, the top piece is stuck. Nope. There is no buckling. And it is adhered even on the bottom piece. Yes, we've done it. Okay, so this is at least what's going to work for the Kato. Who knows? I don't know if this will work for the linings or not, but in the case of just being able to plop fabric onto the deck and do this, we are good. And I'm able to press both sides of the bag at the same time, which is amazing, because we haven't been able to do that either with like any regular success. Okay, now I am going to put it on the like flat surface so that it can cool down, and that'll actually help it adhere, like, because everything will cool down without shifting is basically what happens, or at least that's what I can tell. Okay, so we need the silk setting for the cotton. That's wild, to be honest. Plunk. But alright, I am glad we finally figured it out, at least for this roll of interfacing. Who knows what kind of interfacing I'll get next time? That is sarcasm. I am not pleased with the... That's not a cat problem, that is an actual complaint. I am not pleased with how the supplies there change regularly, especially because there's not much choice at that price point in this area, so... kind of the place to go in Calgary. Now, does that mean that I'm going to stop buying from them? No, but although the fact that they've changed the interfacing the last like few times that I've bought it means that I probably should, or at least should find a new like interfacing supplier, because apparently they can't even keep their same interfacing supplier. So okay, I'm reaching down here trying to grasp everything that we can adhere and pull it up so that we can actually get it done tonight, or at least a good portion of it done tonight. There we go. And then's the pile, and then this is done. Oh yeah, it's looking and feeling good. And it is feeling, yeah, I think that'll work with the Kato fine. I hope. It would suck to have to like come back in and totally redo the interfacing. Basically what would end up happening is I would need to come in and put on another layer of interfacing if it's not heavy enough. I think it is similar enough to the last round that we're fine. I'm fine, but yeah. And this is not a case where I would end up being able to just swap out and do the non-fusible. That is actually the main reason why I started. The Kato is the reason I started using fusible interfacing, was because this top portion has to be interfaced with fusible interfacing for it to have any hope of keeping its shape at all. Especially, and it's also to match the weight a little bit more of the cotton and the cotton linen tops to the canvas bottom. Plus also super important when you have D-rings, because if you put a strap on these bags and are carrying anything heavy, you need support for it. I would not suggest carrying like bowling balls in the Kato bags. Nothing super heavy. Their intention is lightweight. I feel like I should have my craft tweezers in here because I do not want to touch that sole plate. But I also don't want the like fabric cooking. Alright, that did help. The nice thing about doing the pressing this way too is that it does help just take out that last little bit of crinkle. I think I need to replace my actual iron. Because here's the thing, will not iron the yardages when I pull them out of the like washing machine. Although what I was hearing is like pull them out of the washing machine and then like do a short dry so they're still a little bit damp, and then just iron them, and then you don't have to worry about the steam or anything like that. Why haven't I thought of that before? Actually, did I tell you the story about the cardboard boxes? No, whatever. I'm going to tell it again anyway because we're just rambling. And the ideas that I just have completely ignored. You can check cardboard boxes for luggage on international flights. I'm pretty sure you can do it on domestic flights too. I'm not saying that that is exclusively an international flight thing. I have seen people have like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cardboard boxes when they're coming back from Japan. I've never considered using a cardboard box to put my fabric in to come back to Japan. From Japan. Do you know how much weight that would save me? So like, especially on a solo trip, it would make it way easier. What I'm thinking I'm going to do, the first thing I have to do is I have to pull 50 pounds of fabric from the shelf. Or whatever, 50, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I would even need to travel with like suitcases, or if I could just like, I wonder if I could check 2 cardboard. Okay, so there's some parameters on this. I would not want to do over 50 pounds in a cardboard box, just because that sounds like a surefire way to get a broken box. So basically I would go up to the limit on the luggage. And then I would And then I would shrink. Okay, anyway, I'm like, what would I do for the third bag? So maybe I would carry one suitcase, the backpack, and a cardboard box, just because that's also easier for me to transport to that place, the airport, by myself. Because the main place this is going to be super helpful is solo trips. And then if it works well, I'm going to use it on all the trips. Anyway, take 50 pounds of fabric, get some like vacuum pack bags so that then I can like test it out here and see what size of box I need. And then because it has to be within the dimensions of the luggage you take on the plane, it can't be larger, right? But I was just like, I was watching a freaking reel on Instagram and they were making fun of themselves because they bought so much at one of the cheaper shops in Japan, Don Quixote, that they had to go buy luggage. And someone's like, you can like just do a cardboard box, right? $4. Cardboard box and some tape. And I'm sitting here like mind blown because I've seen people do it. And I'm like, why haven't I done it? I'm always like in the pursuit of like the lightest luggage I can get, which I've gotten it very light. Like I think the large bag is 8 pounds or something like that. It's insanely light compared to a lot of it. But you pay for that. So if I could get away with like just doing it in a cardboard box without super expensive luggage, so much better. I will still be taking my trekking backpack though, because that is far too useful. So anyway, so yeah, I guess we need to, so I probably would still take a suitcase because hefting around a 75-pound box to the airport is not going to work. A 75-pound suitcase is bad enough, sort of thing. So the plan would be that I would fill a 50-pound box wherever it is. Hopefully be able to size it here so that it basically would open up, and I could like pack it into my largest suitcase. Because the thing is that it would be too large to like put it in my bag flat. Now, granted, Japan has them, but I don't want to waste or take the time, basically, to look for one when I'm there. But if it was already, like, open in the suitcase, you fill it, weigh it in the suitcase, because I know how much the suitcase weighs, or could figure it out very quickly. Fill it, tape it, ship it to the airport. It just means that I have to do my fabric shopping in Kyoto like the first day instead of leaving it to the end, or like the second day, because then I can just take it down to the front desk and ship it. Yeah, and then so this actually works even better when it's like a family trip and I've got more luggage allowance, I guess. But even just being able to lighten up the one bag, like, so taking, I don't know, what would a cardboard box weigh? A pound? Take out like 7 pounds worth of weight just from the luggage. It does actually increase the meterage that I'm able to bring home enough that it's worth the effort here to figure it out. And then once I figure out the box size, it's not like, and heck, it's not like I can't reuse the box a few times probably as well, so. I think the one thing I was reading is that some people don't like doing it because of the wheels on modern suitcases sometimes punch into the boxes. So one of the big suggestions I saw was to make sure everything's bagged, basically, which I would do with the fabric anyway, because I would vacuum seal it down, because fabric is heavy, but it also takes up a lot of like volume. So being able to vacuum pack it down and probably be able to get into a fairly small box, actually, which would be even more to our benefit. And then I would just pack it in the suitcase and roll it down to the front desk in the suitcase and take the box out of the suitcase, because that would be the one place that would be the transit from the room to the front desk to ship would be a pain in the butt, probably, because again, carrying a 50-pound box, it wouldn't be fun. And no, I'm still not shipping all of this stuff to myself through the post. The thing about shipping it through the post is it is horrendously expensive to get it in any like sane amount of time. So being confined to the luggage also gives me the challenge of being confined to my luggage instead of like just buying everything I want. It does make me very particular, or more particular, I guess. But the box hack is a really good idea. I again do not know where we are. I do know that we're going to transition into one of like the next set of pockets here in a second. But I haven't actually been paying attention to how many of these we've been adhering as we go. Oh, okay. Wait a second. Okay, so I do not understand what's up with the steam press, because this is also pressing like thicker cotton linen. Like there's no concern. Just fine. Doesn't matter. We're good. What do you mean I'm on the silk setting? Feels as hot as if it was on the cotton setting, but that's just probably my perception of it. Alright, we'll take this one out, and then I need to put some more water in it. Come on, beautiful. Oh, that turned out. It's like nice and flat. So it took out a lot of the wrinkles that were already in it, or were still in it. Here's the thing, I iron stuff. But like I said, I think I need to replace my iron because it's... How long have we been married? 10 years? So I think I bought it just after we got married. And it has been a high use item, at least at certain times. And I think it's time to swap it out. And then I can put the one that I have for the business currently into the household rounds, because it's still fun to like iron shirts and stuff like that. I occasionally dream about getting like a, basically it's a mangle, a rotary ironer, but then I'm always like, where would I put it? I need more space, but I also do not need more space. So I don't need more space to take care of. That's the key. Okay, do you know what? We're going to be wild and try 4, because this is going so well so far. This will probably not work, but you don't know until you try, right? I doubt 4 will work. It doesn't. It rarely does on this, so. Alrighty then, we are spectacularly golden. A little bit of lifting on that corner. Oh, okay, the back piece is a little bit angry. That makes sense, it's the one on the bottom. No, okay. 2 pieces it is. It is fine, but it is not adhered as well as the top stuff, so just worth trying out. Not a big deal. I'm going to pull that a tick soon, because I was just like, wait. I was talking about how the heat affects the adherence, but we're good. Alright, that pile is growing and this pile is shrinking, and that is making me very happy. It's midnight. We're gonna see how I do in the next half hour. If I'm extremely close to finishing these at the half hour point, then we will just wrap up. I don't think I will be, but I've been surprising myself tonight, so who knows. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, so we're over halfway. Well over halfway, because there's 53 bags we need to adhere tonight. And I've been at it for half an hour. Okay, I think we're going to be able to actually wrap this up tonight. Yes. So I stopped at the right place today for what we actually ended up finishing the cutouts for. Like I said, that's why I keep mentioning that, is because it actually bothers me that I didn't get more done. I do acknowledge that it's smarter to have stopped so that we have a chance of finishing, but I am annoyed. This is a cat problem. There's no solution for it, and it's just kind of like, it is something, it's totally a problem I created for myself, but bah, that doesn't mean it's easier. Hi, how are you? I took your chair. You were looking very good right now, and I don't know why. It's like, I'm going to try and eat this canvas, Mum. Hi. I know. You probably are out of dry food, I'm guessing. Okay. No. Eek. Right over top of everything. Move the mouse so I don't turn the stream off again like I did earlier. Now he wants in the bag because it's in a box. He's a dork. All right. Oh, so I finished A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. Very much enjoyed that series. Highly recommend it. Definitely an adult series. It looks like it could be like YA, but I would put it at least older teen, new adult. Apparently that category is kind of dying right now, or at least it's not being marketed to. But I would count it as like one of those really good books to kind of, you don't want to be reading children's fiction or like teen fiction, but you don't want to dive into like midlife crisis adult fiction either. Yeah. Anyway, it was really, really good, and now I need to put a hold on Fragile Threads of Power, which is, I don't know, I guess the next one? This definitely finished the trilogy, so I don't know what's up. But anyway, it was good. Recommended. I will say I did not have a very like emotional attachment to the characters, and I don't know though if that's maybe because I was like listening to the audiobooks, and so I was like multitasking every time I was listening to the audiobooks. It's probably most of it. But I don't know. Maybe it was just this series. That's not to say that I didn't enjoy the characters or their arcs or like all of that, but yeah, there was no like attachment to the characters in some ways. Hi, what is up? He's like weird. Hope he's feeling okay. Okay. We're just about, well, I keep saying that we're just about there. We're not just about there. What did I say? 23, so there should be around 20 left right now. Or was it 33? Doesn't matter. They still all need to be adhered. It would be nice. I should be using the pressing cloth, but so then I wouldn't have to wait for them to fall off the top. So that's okay. I'm gonna have to clean this old plate coming up anyway, so I may as well get it fully gunked up and then we'll get it clean. I think I actually do need to get a new base for the like a new pressing pad, I guess. Whatever this bottom piece is. Like the actual ironing board part. I did actually get a new ironing board cover for my ironing board because the old one got to the point where it actually like tore. It basically tore from the middle all the way to the point, and I was like, okay, that's fair. Just gotta go get a new cover. So I went and got a new cover. I didn't do it right away because I went to Walmart and I just bought a new cover there because that's what I did last time, and it lasted and lasted and lasted. Like, considering that I'm using it basically as a semi-industrial or professional use, it lasted a very long time. And this new one will probably last longer simply because most of the yardage work will be done now on that new quilting board that I made earlier this year. And then realistically, the only thing that ironing board cover is going to get used for is when I'm doing like pressing for the actual bags. So it's going to reduce its use by about 2/3, or its use has been reduced by 2/3 as it is. So, and that's fine. That's awesome, actually. I also just realized that yeah. And I did actually keep the old ironing board cover so that if I need to press interfacing on the new ironing board cover, we could use the old ironing board cover at least as a press cloth in between the two layers. I was like, well, it's like good on the one end, so we may as well keep it as some sacrificial fabric for like later. Who cares? Well, I do, obviously, but it's not like it's a massive burden to keep an ironing board cover around. If I don't use it in the next year, 2 years, I'll throw it out, whatever. Actually, I'll find out if my friend wants the fabric for her amigurumi, and then just throw out the foam, because the foam is all rusted actually from the ironing board itself, because obviously you're introducing heat and moisture, and it gets trapped, and then everything rusts. Alright, it's actually really wild to see how flat this pile starts to get versus how it starts, because it's like you're taking out any kind of crinkling and like separation and like all the factors that make this pile puffier, basically. I can't believe that I went from like, hey, we'll probably, whatever that gets interfaced by Sunday will be what we finish, to being like, well, we're going to probably get this done tonight. That does not mean I'm adding any more bags. Like, I am done cutting bags. I am mentally done cutting bags. The fact that I still have to do leather and logos is enough. But, yeah. And, like, there's still half. Almost half of what I cut is here, so that is a sufficient number of Kato bags that we'll try and finish. Zip. Okay. Oh. Oh. Well, yeah. I tried to give you that bag earlier and you're like, no. And now you're like, I want it, but I can't fit in the box and the bag. This cat. down there like, I am innocently grooming my tail, Mum. Why would you disparage me so? Well, that looks like a very manageable amount left. I approve. Okay, that actually eases up my, like, mental checklist as well, to be honest. Okay, sweet. 21 left, it looks like. So this will make 20-ish. 20-ish makes sense, I think. None of it makes sense, but 20 is just as good a number to make sense as 53, so. I did go upstairs before I went and picked up the kids, and Flynn was like on the bed, just in like the perfect nest with the perfect like beam of sun, like sunbeam on him. It was extremely picturesque, and I definitely got pictures. And then I was able to like take a picture of him like in this like panoramic kind of wide view over the mountains and everything like that. It was quite majestic. I know he's a forest cat, but he lives in the foothills, so. Strange noises coming out of him though. Alright. Good. We should be under 20 now. Yeah. So if they take 10 seconds each, and it's taking about 5 to 10 seconds for them to fall off. So 20 seconds, say, total. Plus the fussing around to like actually get them ready to go on the press. 30 seconds. 20 left. So yeah, we got about, let's say 15 minutes left. So 12:30. Awesome. I won't even go past the late time I want it to be up till. Sweet. Well, thank you for everyone that's still hanging out. I see you in the viewer count here. Hope you're enjoying the chaotic ramble through everything, because that's always what this is. Oh, the bees and strawberries are gonna look amazing. Yeah, that pile now on this side is definitely larger than the pile on this side, so that's excellent. Also these strawberries. The selvage on that actually called that retro denim, which I see now that it's kind of got like the diagonal. It's all printed. It's not actually denim, but it's got like the diagonal lines of denim. Although that did bring the question up for me the other day. I was like, is that why it's called denim? Is the way it's like because of the technique of the how it's woven? There we go. It must be. I'm gonna have to look that up though. I do feel like that is probably what it is it's like it's called denim because of how it's woven. Anyway, this is just a print of it, but it is called, the selvage was written in katakana, so it's retro denimu, or in English, retro denim, which is actually very accurate. keep going through, like, counting it, it's going to make it go faster, but it's not going to change anything. These will press in the 10 seconds, or they won't press at all. Oh, they're looking very crisp, and I am enjoying it. It's like, just like taking that last, like I said, a little bit of, like, not wrinkled necessarily, at least not all of them, but they kind of have just a little bit of a worn look in some ways. They're all new fabrics, these ones at least. The Kimono, or the Obi fabrics are not. These ones are all new. They look like they've been on my shelf for a little bit, I guess. That might be the best description. Or like the iron didn't work quite right. But getting them put onto the steam press just like, just flattens them right out to like the same kind of vibe as like as they got taken off the bolts in Kyoto and Tokyo. I do know, so I don't always remember where the fabrics come from, because obviously there is a significant number of fabrics that I have purchased. So for every pound of luggage that I have, it's usually about 2 yards of fabric. I guess 2 meters of fabric, because Japan is in metric. Which does give me a little bit extra actually, which is awesome. And then I'm working in about 2 yard increments, sometimes 1, sometimes 3. So the 1 and the 3s kind of balance out. So the average is like 2 yards per print. And I usually do come home with, so on my solo trip, it was 70. Oh, well, discount the 75 pound or the 50 pounds of that because it was Kimono and Obi, but it was 75 and 50 pounds, so 125 pounds. If every meter's a pound, or every 2 meters is a pound. Yeah, so you're looking at like about 100 prints, typically. But sometimes I do remember where I get them. So I do, sorry, that was not what I intended to do. You can definitely tell. It's like getting slippery from the steam, actually. The sloths definitely came from Nomura Taylor in Kyoto, because I remember seeing them displayed. Because Tomato, when you go in Tokyo, you go along and it's just all like rolls in the shelves. They don't do display beyond some like made goods that are on the upper floors, basically. But Kyoto has, like at Nomura Taylor, has them hanging out on the racks, and then you go around and you show the person what you want, and then they pull the bolts for you from the shelves below or wherever they're stocked. I do not know, nor do I want to understand their organization's system at Nomura Taylor. It makes no sense to me. 0 cents. I do know that they have a Cocoa wall, so the KOKKA, and that is the most I know about their organization system. That's all I need to know about it, really. But anyway. So yeah, I vividly remember seeing the sloths hanging on the wall in Nomura Taylor House. I know that the hedgies that I ironed earlier are from Kyoto, because I also got the cat's whiskers from there as well. And that the little silhouette cat that, amongst all those florals, is also from Tokyo, because I had to ask for the red one with the gentleman at the counter. This is fighting me, so I'm going to grab that pressing cloth, and we're going to try to get this top bit pressed down without having to take it to an iron. So I'm hoping the weight of the cloth basically just helps hold the fold up, down where it needs to be. If it doesn't work completely, I will throw it under an iron, but I prefer not to have to. I know this one's from Tokyo because this came out of a bin that was on the 4th floor. Just had a bunch of like random like summer prints in it. So same as actually the wisteria print with the wisteria Dobby print as well, actually came from there because it was in the same bin. I think we're almost good. That needs to be lifted just a little bit and re-adhered. Well, that actually did a pretty good job of it. I am going to... Yeah, we're going to do that again, and I'm going to throw this... Actually, I'm just going to throw it underneath by itself. It doesn't need a pressing cloth this time, because there's not as much like exposed above it. The sweet fruits were fat quarters from somewhere. This is the hedgehog I was talking about that came from Tokyo. I think the crochet stuff also might have come from Kyoto. And this like vibrant highlighter florals definitely came from Kyoto. I think we saw that in Tokyo and I was like, eh. But sometimes you need to see it in different contexts. Whereas like one of those ones where it's like, okay, we're going to wait to see what we can find in Kyoto. And like, it should be there. And if it's not, then it's not meant to be. But let's not fill up the suitcase with stuff that's like, well, maybe. Don't remember where the... I think this Sakura Dabi might have come from. Oh my goodness. Damn it. Okay. Let me get this off and let me just double check this. I'm like, there is a light spot in there and it is some detergent. So this will need to be... Damn it. Okay. Well, it's not getting finished, that's for sure. So, and I did... I'm looking down there because I'm like, if I don't finish this, then I could actually finish one of the fish. For some reason, with some of the loads that I did, and do you know what? This was probably in the same load as the other one that happened. There was like soap residue. I've never experienced this with this before. But this washing machine is more questionable than my old one. But I bet you this was probably washed in the same load too, because it's a similar color. Anyway, that just needs to go in the wash. That one is not getting finished. So let's grab the Sakura fish, because why not? It is not prepped in any way, shape, or form besides the fact that its exterior is cut. So I will need to do, I'll do the wedging and all the pare down at the desk, or at the sewing table tomorrow once we're done. Or tomorrow before I start sewing everything together. Not a big deal to have to do it on a couple. It's just when it's like in bulk that it's like, no. Okay. Just make sure that that kind of matches up with the interfacing. They're the right sizes. They are. That's disappointing. I really wanted to have that Sakura and the Kato, but hey, now we got Sakura fish at least. So, trade-offs. I will have to figure out how to like stay stitch that or something. I should what I'll do is I'll probably run it through the serger so that the edges are finished, so it's not like instantly unraveling as soon as I put it in the washing machine. The other nice thing, or I am very glad that I noticed that before I put it all on the shelf, because with the Kato you cannot, or at least I don't suggest that you wash them, and that's not something that can really be spot cleaned off either. And I have washed. Oh, criminy. Okay, 1 second. I think my eldest's camera is not on. Yeah, all right. My eldest is awake. So this is the end. I'm going to do this last one because it's already here. And then I need to head upstairs. Oh, I'm so close. Darn it. Oh, well. Momming calls. Thank you so much for everyone who joined. I am actually quite shocked how many people are still here at, well, 12:30 for me. I guess our clock is 24 hours around the world. We will finish up. There's like a half dozen bags left to interface tomorrow, so that's what I will be working on tomorrow. And I will chat with you all tomorrow night. If you want to see me or see when I'm coming online, Follow me on Instagram. I always post a story when I'm coming on with the link. Or if you subscribe to me on YouTube, it'll give you that direct, like, hey, this person's going live. But yeah, I need to head upstairs. So I'll chat with you all soon. Bye. Well, I'll chat with you tomorrow night in like